Is it better? Yay! Okay. Woo! Alright. G'day, g'day. I still can't figure out what the hell's going on with my microphone sometimes. Hi Ava, how you doing? Hope everyone's doing well today. Man, we're gonna finish this case tonight, guys, I promise. I have to admit, this game is taking so much longer than I anticipated. Like, crazy amount of time. But that's okay. You know, well, she'd be right. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. Hey, Rashkavar, how you doing? Always having a good time with these games, even if I'm debilitating my voice at the same time. Hi, Olda. Not bad. Working to learn tonight. Not sure how long I can stay for sure. No worries, Ava. Gotta work. Work's important. Well enough. That's good. That's a nice way of putting it. Well enough. Did you get a chance to check out? No, I didn't get around to it. I'm very sorry. I did see you post them. In typical fashion, I completely forgot. I will, wait, where was it? Film and TV, right? I will literally put the silver chair. I'm going to open it up in a tab. Oh my god, it's like 2 hours long. Holy shit. I didn't expect it to be the whole series in one. Oh my god. If I find any of this familiar, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. I just want to say that. I don't know, like, there's sometimes, I'm sometimes amazed by, like, the fact that there's just some stuff that I might have just don't remember from, like, watching when I was younger. There we go. It's considered older than you are. Well, that's good. I feel like a lot of things should be older than me, you know what I mean? Sorry. Playing with the lid. I'm like, how far can I get it? Boom! Ow. Okay, just hit my hand. We're doing good. That's fair. Thank you. Cheers. Alright. I don't really have too much to say. Had D&D. It was chill. Got distracted a lot. Got finished my video. Video is up, guys. New video's out. Should probably like make a little alert or something where it's like most recent video or something. Listen, it's not important. Videos are just there for fun. Yeah, because I had to do it today, because I have no time for the next 3 days. I was supposed to be doing 2 full days, and then I was doing like the first half of Sunday, and I was like, yeah, alright, that's fine. I am now doing all, like, start to finish for the next, like, 3 days, which is great. Not crazy about it, but it's fine, because, see, so nothing's changed for the next 2 days, but I'm now working, like, start to finish on Sunday. Yes. Which, honestly, is a good thing, because Sunday is a public holiday, so I get, like, triple pay that day, which is really good. Like, I want it for the triple pay, but I also wish I didn't have the 2 full days beforehand. You know what I mean? But then I get 4 days off, so it'll be worth it. I wonder who I'm working with the next couple of days. I'm gonna check. Give me a second, guys. I'm like passively worried about it. Who am I working with tomorrow? Oh, that's right. I get to work with Emma. Oh, that'll be good. Have a good gas bag with her. It's been a while. Me blank. Emma. It just says me and Lauren. Who's doing the midday shift? Is my boss coming in? Oh, whatever. They're probably like, oh, it's a public holiday, not many people will be around, you don't need a third person, and then we'll be inundated with people needing stuff for, like, groceries. Oh, look at this cute nerd on my screen. Aw, thank you. Hey, cute nerd who hasn't worked on Final Fantasy XIV in, like, a month? Am I still cute? Do I still count as a cute nerd? Literally all I think about, like every single time my brain's like, should probably do that. Anyway, then I forget. By full days, do you mean open to closing? Yeah, basically. Maybe minus the first like half an hour, but yeah. Doesn't change much. I'm doing great. Daft. Next week, I'll try to set aside some time for Final Fantasy. Okay, well, it's gonna happen. Yeah, because I should hopefully have time. Hopefully, she says. I keep forgetting that we have like a public holiday is on the weekend, but that means the public holiday moves to technically the Friday. So I might have my parents be coming up to catch up on Friday, and then my sister wants to do something on the Thursday afternoon, and then if the other on the Thursday afternoon, and one of those mornings is gonna be taken up by D&D, which means I'm only left with like 2 half days and 1 full day to do everything. Fuck my life, man. But I'll fit it in somewhere, okay? I'm not scared. What's your place's hours then? Lots of places here are open for breakfast till evening. Okay, so we're a cafe, primarily coffee, but we don't, luckily, one of the best things about my workplace, it opens at 8. Which is amazing for a cafe, because a lot of the time, a lot of like cafes and stuff probably are open like 7, maybe 6 if you're maybe like the kitchen staff or something. But yeah, we start at 8 till 4, which is nice. It's a nice amount of hours because it means I can like I can still kind of come home before Dara gets home and prepare dinner and stuff like that. So but obviously I gotta wake up early in the morning. Did I put my alarm on? I did! Cool. I feel like I remember very sleepily, like, this morning going like doop doop doop, because I woke up at like 7:15 and I was like, shit, well I don't have D&D yet, so scrolling on my phone. So full day is a single full-time shift. Yes. Yes. Full day is start to finish. It's about as normal as anyone with a normal job. Admittedly, but I don't do normal size jobs because they stress me out, man. Imagine if I had even less time than I already did. If I got a full-time job, I would have to give up streaming. That's the devastating thing, is like, if I did even want to go for like a nice full-time job, I wouldn't be able to stream anymore because that should be the time I should be like relaxing, and I wouldn't be relaxing, I'd be streaming, which is still good, but it's a lot of things to do, and I would fall behind on doing stuff and just wouldn't be the same way. Hey, I'm the same way! Hey, look at us! Just 2 probably autistics, I'm assuming this, can't deal with all the busy stuff in our heads. There's just so much. Mortifying. I'm sorry if I am assuming wrong, but I'm just like very much like I feel like the pressure in my brain of like I start trying to think about everything I need to do for the week, and it just goes clump, 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 and then I'm like, I can't do this, I'm stressing. Like what I'm going to be doing for the next 3 days. I had to switch to nights because it's like having a part-time job. I can just chill for most of the shift. It's good. It's good. That's like work when it's not busy. Work when it's not busy, it's like, I'm just chilling, chat with my friend. Like, it's so good. And then when it's busy, you're like, I want to die. Like, please help me. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting there and you're like, why isn't there a third person here? Like, why did I tell the person to leave like an hour ago? Like, we need them now. I'm not looking forward to the next couple of months, guys, at work. Just, there's the potential to be a lot, and I'm worried about it. But hopefully we're getting 2 new people at some point. I'll have to pick my boss's brain about it tomorrow morning. She's working in the morning, even though I'm doing the full day shift. I'm surprised she didn't take the full day shift. I thought she'd be like, what do they say? Chomping at the bit to be able to, I almost said biting at the chomp, which is close enough, to get as many shifts as possible before she starts uni, but she's also probably preparing for uni. It's a lot of cleaning, but I do miss working with the kids most of the time. Yeah. That'd be devastating. I don't think I could do that. In saying that, I don't like hospitals. Hospitals are scary. But yeah, I'm very, it's really weird. I wouldn't say I'm a germaphobe, but I definitely have a lot of tendencies to be a germaphobe. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not particularly paranoid about it until I am paranoid about it. And you're like, Hannah, what are you doing over there with like that knife and tongs? And I'm like, shh, I can't let the chicken touch the board. I'm not kidding. So yesterday I was making some chicken schnitzel and I'm usually very meticulous with the chicken. I always buy chicken fillets, like thin, like a couple of fillets in order to like dip into the flour and stuff. And by this, like, I'm making sure that no chicken ever goes on any of our cutting boards because I'm always worried about that, like, vegetable and the chicken stuff at touching the same board and then making you get sick. And I worry about that, like, way too much. So I always like negate the entire idea of it. Anyway, lo and behold, yesterday I bought the wrong type of chicken pieces. It was like just the whole breast. Anyway, so there was me sitting with a plate covered in flour, trying to use a pair of tongs, because I'm not going to touch it with my hands, and a knife, and just trying to lift up the piece so I can, you know, cut through with the sharp knife. Without it touching the plate. Anyway. That's a random fact you didn't need to know about me that I was doing yesterday. I'm undiagnosed. Canada doesn't have great access to mental health care folks who don't have a good amount of access to money. Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember certain I have anxiety, depression, ADHD, and probably somewhere on the autism spectrum, but my schooling was done back when that and even Asperger's were reserved for significantly more intense cases. It's not great. Especially considering like a lot of that stuff, well, quote unquote, is mostly treatable. You know, like if you had a little bit of anxiety, depression, and ADHD medication every morning, you'd probably be like, I feel the best I've ever have, you know? Like it's frustrating that that's the case. I didn't put orb behind. It's more of a home setting. There's a lot of getting kids to have skills to be back in home environment. Interesting. So just like what's a single example of that? Obviously you don't have to like go too personal with a story or anything. Just like do you just mean like what is it, like sitting on a computer? Or I'm trying to figure out what you would consider like a skilled in a home environment, like other than cooking. Because I don't think sitting at my desk counts as a skill, but computers do. But then it depends on like the age of the kids and what you're teaching them exactly. Fuck! Guys, all the orbs just fell. Give me a second. Yes, there is a bat orb, and they are the best. Alright, sorry. His wings are not really pronounced, though. He's cute, though. Hi. Hello. How's it going? But yeah. So we help them learn to do laundry and clean up and not throw chairs at each other. That's good. And not do drugs. And get a lot of super neglected kids placed by the state, so we work on social skills and stuff too. Mealtime manners, etc. Okay, interesting. It's a good thing to remember. I keep forgetting about mealtime manners nowadays, isn't it? That's such an easy thing I feel to forget. just because we don't typically sit at a dining table anymore. At least like for me personally. Like when you eat with a knife and fork, it's very just kind of like innate, like, yeah, I know how to do this, or you know, just sitting at a table and waiting to be served, or serving the table like beforehand while the person's cooking or something, you know, like it's not a thing I actively think about. Hi, Drac. Wasn't 11 months not long ago? That's what I was just thinking. It wasn't, no. Maybe you just like posted it later in the month than anticipated. Drac, thank you for the tier 1 subscription for 1 year. That's $1 crisp. I hope you're doing well. Doesn't feel like it's been that long. Basically, my not being particularly sociable and hyperfixates on science was seen as me being a good student rather than light autism level social skills and the classic hyperfixation of ADHD. Yeah, and it's always good until it's not going good, you know what I mean? Which is so frustrating. Cause, it's kind of like how, it's like that typical, you know, that the stuff, you see a lot of memes where it's like, were you in school, like, amazing? Were you amazing at school and then you basically got to uni and fell apart? Yeah, you probably have some form of autism because you loved the structure that you had when you were in school or in uni, and then you hit uni into full-time work and you're like, what is structure? What is my life? And you have to just make your own building steps, but they don't always teach you those skills. They just say, go study by yourself, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll study by myself. You know what I mean. We also train the parents to be not bad people. That's good. I hope that's not super difficult. Well, I mean, that sounds really difficult, but good on you. It's like a really broad amount of work you do there. Important work. Actually enjoy university once I got into the swing of things. It was alright. I'll be honest, I don't remember much of uni anymore. I just think about streaming. Because I was still streaming throughout all of my... I was basically streaming throughout all of my uni years, so that's all I think about. And it's probably better that way. I didn't like a lot of the stuff that happened at uni. There was a lot of little things at uni where I think my brain just completely misinterpreted things, or I don't know. I wasn't probably as neurotypical as others probably would have liked me to be. That's probably not the way to think of it. It's not that anyone was particularly rude, but it was definitely one of those things where there was basic misunderstandings. And of course those misunderstandings were in relation to like some sort of work I did and submitted it, and they're like, this ain't you didn't do X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, but I did the work, right? Like, what do you mean? I get a lot of yeah, autism, ADHD kids too. Unless, wait, or is that different? Audi? Isn't it just like AU? HD? Alright, don't worry. Myself and in places like this are a kid. It's super therapeutic for me because I have very bad teen. So it's like you're like helping people who, yeah, you're like helping almost like heal your own past by helping like kids that are currently maybe in a similar situation. Took me a bit, and being in engineering helped. Oh yeah. I never did uni, just played PC for 3 years until I streamed. Good plan. It's autism and ADHD. Yeah, I thought that was like a different way of putting it, like rather than Audi HD. I feel it was like just a. I don't remember what the. There's another thing for it, but that's fine. Okay. Many people in engineering are a bit neurospicy, so we got along fairly well. That is always the funny thing I find, is like how many people, if you're like neurospicy, you naturally find other neurospicy people, right? Like if you're into trains or something, if you stream on Twitch, if you play too many video games, if you're an artist, like there's just particular fields, you know? And then there's like other fields and you're just like, I will never understand you. Anyway, let's get back into the game. Like attracts like in a way. Yeah, exactly. That's what I very much believe with this stream, okay? I'm a big believer that with this stream, like, you know, you would naturally attract the right, like, people that you want to, like, interact with or have, like, similar feelings and thoughts with. And yeah, you just keep that light on in the night and all the bugs will eventually be attracted towards you. I'm not calling you guys bugs. For reference, it wasn't a good analogy, was it? Just keep the water filled up in the corner and all the horses will eventually need a drink. There we go. That's better. Horses are cool. We like horses. Except for Ava, that I'm just remembering. Wait, was it Ava? No, we were talking about... No, it was horses. It was like horses and lobsters. Yeah. Well... we could come up with a better one. Always make sure you, like, all people will... if you leave the catnip out, all the cats will eventually find themselves in a same place. Yes, chat is cats. You guys can be cats now. It's funny how Mikey of John Mike Cup fame got diagnosed as autism after graduating and creating a big YouTube career. The same thing with didn't Jacksepticeye have a video on it, as well as Jaden Animations? Wait, was it Jaden? Or was that ADHD? It's funny though, either way. Like the fact there's quite a few YouTubers that I just like kind of come out and they're like, yeah, I was diagnosed with this. I never like looked into it that deeply. And I'm like, girl, like, heck. Jack and Jaden has ADHD. Amazing. Makes a lot of sense. I still feel sorry about Jacksepticeye. In the sense that obviously I feel like because he was one of the first people to get like COVID, he was like one of like probably the very, very beginning people to get COVID. He obviously like suffered terrible ramifications to it. And it's just like, no. I just realized you're streaming and the dinner I was supposed to cook is still uncooked. Just put me up in the background. You'll just hear me talk about random stuff. Charizard is falling into a pencil holder, you know? Like, that's just what life is about, you know? Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know, like, I just feel like, to a certain degree, like, I haven't watched a lot of Jacksepticeye since, but I think it's also because he's still, like, struggling a lot with his, like, health and stuff like that, from my understanding. Anyway, games. So we're in the case 3. How long were we talking for? Almost half an hour. Him coming back and doing the short film of dealing with burnout and COVID aftermath made me cry 100%. I'm like so like, it's like one of those things where it's just like, you know, it really is devastating to think that there's a certain amount of like him having to come to terms with that he can kind of never come back to the same steam as he had back in like any of the 2010s. You know what I mean? But, well, you know, and he's still obviously like working on other things, you know, like other projects. And I think that's really good for him. You know, rather than worrying about the grind of YouTube, kind of being like, yeah, let's work on like these other bigger projects, you know, like he has an audience and basically anything he makes, the audience will be like, oh my god, yes, I really wanted to buy his comic books. Didn't get around to it. One day. I think they're probably being sold somewhere. But yeah, no. It was pretty sad watching that. But it was, I really like admire videos like that because it's really important to have people like come out and talk about that sort of situation and the like. Actually, you know, like, I actually kind of, randomly going back to the John Michael stuff, I really like their dynamic because it feels like There's very much like that energy. Like in one of the videos recently, they were like, yeah, we just paused the video for like 20 minutes in order to just have like a little bit of a deep conversation with each other. Like you can see like John and Mikey actually, you know, like they actually seem like really good friends, and that, you know, after all of like their filming and stuff, they probably just sit in a voice chat and relax for a little bit, and they're like, how you doing, man? Like, doing okay? You know, like if there was anything like really big, like stressor in their lives, they have each other to be like close friends with, you know, they have that closeness of personality and friendship that is like really healthy from what I've seen. And to prove they're human at the end of the day. Exactly, exactly. It's the most important thing. I'm stretching my feet. Sorry. If I'm ever like randomly quiet, it's just because like my brain's like obviously thinking about cheese, but also just like trying to like bend and stretch my feet in some way. Yeah. Yeah. Not good. Anyway, let's think about other things. Gabelle, we're almost definitely sure that Fifi Lagarde is now the criminal, which I called from the beginning. I fucking knew it, but we don't have a motive yet. But we need to prove everything has happened the way that it has happened. So that's what this is. Oh hey, we have video games here sometimes. I know, right? I don't always just talk my head off. Sometimes I talk my foot off. Don't do that. It's terrible. Don't talk your feet off. Your feet are very sore. Just like mine are gonna be. Alright. My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. I would have said relayed, but that's fine. Mr. Carcerado did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course. Of course she can. Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival. She is really is a very busy woman, busy looking after baby Winner. Yeah. The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 6 inches deep. I read that. Why did I say 6? God, what is wrong with me? God, I'm glad I don't make this mistake much at work. Much. Oh my god. 4. It was said 4 inches, guys, not 6. Don't get excited. Okay, time of death between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Well, we already kind of knew that, so that's fine. Simeon Sate was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well while everyone watched. Judge Gavelle hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, I think I just might. So what was the testimony? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, time to save. Okay, so let's see. I wasn't really paying attention, so I need to see what she said again. Did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. Yes, as such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. I'm not quite sure what wants me to look at here. Like the contraption, for example. Is it impossible that Mr. Carcerado simply failed to notice the body? Assistant to the Associate Attorney, you have been through the secret tunnel passage, have you not? Whoa, how'd you know? I noticed mud on you yesterday, on that charming key in your hair, to be precise. That's incredible! You could be a great thief with eyes like that! Answer me truthfully, in the name of the goddess. Would you or would you not have noticed a body had one been present? You know, I guess I would've. There, you have it. Mr. Carcerado did not see a body, which means there's nobody there to see. Only been dropped during the show. Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more? The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Carcerado, or more specifically, the key to his cell. Mr. Knight had used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage, and that's where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Carcerado crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was no body there yet. Wait a second, that doesn't add up. Mr. Carcerado smelled that sweet smell, so Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until sometime after Mr. Carcerado had crawled through it. Mr. Carcerado used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. Okay. From which you deduce that the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show. Yes, and who the culprit must be. Hold it! I'm really hoping for more information here. Are you sure about that? Could nobody else have done it? I understand that Miss Berry was on stage for the entire performance. Yeah, that's my level of wakeness. Hell yeah. You get it, girl. Just kind of... There we go. Guys, I got to use my blanket today. It was lovely. I just want to appreciate that for a second. Because it actually was cold today, guys. Can you imagine? But it was like cold, but it was like a nice cold. But yeah, I got to enjoy my little flappy wings and I'm like, yay! Anyway, most of the prisoners were watching the show, and those who were not have plausible alibis. Well, we haven't asked the wardens though. What about the guards? They too watching the show, as was the warden. How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed. None of the guards left their posts during the show. I have checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them. She's thorough, I give her that. Review the evidence we gathered during an investigation. Okay, but what am I exactly trying to, like, dispel here? I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm trying to, like, probably this, right? Oh, right, by the existence of the trap, that means there was no body that could have been dropped from there. Right. That's the point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Objection! Okay, we're good. Wouldn't you care to revise your testimony at all, Judge Cavell? No, why? Do you believe there is something wrong with it? Well, no, nothing seems out of place. Then perhaps, could you refrain from insinuating otherwise? Did I do something wrong? Fuck. I thought that made sense. The body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. But there was a contraption. Down the show there during the show was Mr. Saint. I mean, technically that's true because he did drop the body down the well. He just didn't know there was a body. Or something? Fuck my life. You know what, I'm gonna try presenting it again, but on this clause. Objection! I just had it on the wrong thing. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. A contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do. Just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weight end down the well allowed him to complete the trick. Objection! Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on the stage? Hold it! It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With a second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. That was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying Mr. Saint set this contraption up him, right? Well then, who do you think is the number one most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body? Even you must see how this looks.
Objection!
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Mr. Judge Gavel theorized, without these extra steps. Ms. Berry. Yes? Does anyone else know Mr. Saint's trick works?
Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval for what we were going to perform, so I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows.
And there you have it. Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation, and yet I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you're doing wrong at this very moment? You're a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of This flies in the face of common sense. You're breaking every rule in the book. Aced it. First try. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. That's what Phoenix taught me to do. And this is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well, if it is her will that we must fight, then I'll fucking kill you! Then I shall end this once and for all. Oh god. She's gonna kill us. It's not good. I'd appreciate it if you didn't murder me outright. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. The knife? If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Saint's Knight's cell. Fuck my life. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells? Yeah, it is pretty sus. But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing more. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Okay. Save. Okay, if the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, okay, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. Not necessarily. They could have just dragged him halfway through the tunnel. Like, they killed him, right? And then drag him halfway through the tunnel. And then hoisted him up from the other end. Do you think that's the evidence they want? Where's the tunnel? This one.
Objection!
Fuck! We'll keep workshopping it. Keep workshopping it. I'm wondering if I should press in order to like get more details or not. Okay, was there another piece in that? Who had the opportunity to do this is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only plausible suspect. Okay. I feel like this is the line. Let's try button pressing. Was there really no other way he could have come around?
Mr. Knight was awaiting trial. If he, a random non-inmate, had openly entered the prison proper, he surely would have been noticed.
And presumably none of your witnesses have testified to seeing such a thing?
Precisely. Praise be to the goddess of justice for granting you this insight.
God, I hate her.
So if you will agree, it will only be that Mr. Knight has brought over here in secret.
Through the tunnel! There's a tunnel! His body shows wounds. He was covered in dirt. Oh, let's try this.
Objection!
Back. What do you want from me, game? What do you want from me? Alright, you can be honest. What do you want? Should I just press everything?
Hold it! Hold it! Overruled! Objection!
It seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor.
Overruled!
No?
Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth.
Very well, then recall this fact if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison, but there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison, a time when it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. What do I have that shows that there was a period of time where oversight was limited? This time.
Take that!
Okay, not the type of evidence I was looking for, but that's fine. That's okay. It's the game. Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
We've previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. Can I also just say, I'm amazed by how much, like, how much Edgeworth just doesn't like dealing with Winner. Like, Winner is literally like 17. Like, you can imagine literally being like, go back to school, man. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. I'm a big believer that, again, once you get to like probably 24 plus, you're like, I don't want to deal with teenagers. Like, there's just a small amount. Like, once you're like well past that point of probably being like a teenager, you're just like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to be back there. Please. It's kind of sad, actually. Edgeworth was also a prosecutor at 17. Yes. But again, like, when you are 17, right, you're like, yeah, I'm so cool, like, I'm gonna go do my thing as a prosecutor, you know, like, there's a certain amount of, like, confidence with it, right? And when you are the person, you're kind of like, you're living it, you know what I mean? And then when you get to your, like, upper 20s and stuff, you're like, can you go back to school? Like, so he is treating Sebi exactly as he would treat himself, as in no mercy. Well, yeah, that's a very valid, it's a very good way of putting it. It's a very good way of putting it. Okay, I didn't read this slide. Okay. We'd previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours, and from this we can deduce there might have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anybody could move around the prison undetected.
Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That is no simple camera malfunction. Is that even possible?
It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this, which is the breakout lights.
Take that!
You're exceptional. Excellent. Prove it. But it's really sad because you can imagine Edgeworth, like, who was originally the boy genius, right? Like, he was adored. He was like, oh my god, it's the youngest prosecutor ever. He's so cool. He, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, him seeing this new young upstart and just says, fuck off, mate. Like, I was solving crimes before you were born, you know? Not quite, but you would get it. Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder. What?
Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark.
I've been there, and so I will afford you the same respect I wish I was given by taking you seriously. Yeah, I guess that's true. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing.
Ha ha ha. Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door?
Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key. Well, I mean, if the warden's the criminal.
Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure, so I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
No, but one person could have.
I beg your pardon?
That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
What? There's no one like that. The breaker to the electrical fence is in there. They would be questioned in an instant. There's only one person who meets this criteria. Yeah, wow, this kind of crazy, man.
Take that!
Bitch, sit down. Miles Edgeworth, 2009. Oh, fuck yeah. And taking him seriously means wrecking him. But it's just kind of sad because it's also like I don't know, like you think about how serious Miles was as a kid, you know, and like he was truly a genius, you know what I mean? He was a genius, he thought things through, you know, and he had a mentor who never really like respected him. And yeah, like, you know, like you know, versus this guy where he's like, I'm gonna respect you like how I wish I was like to be respected, but obviously he's like nowhere near the level of thinking that Edgeworth was when he was a kid. The real culprit is, oh look, there she is, Warden Lagarde.
Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woo?
He's not just a pretty face. Missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you. What?
Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
And then perhaps it's the sweet stench of death. Oh my god! Man, he is dealing it out. Let's fucking go. Good on you, Edgeworth. He is not afraid.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But I didn't know better. I must think you were calling moi the killer.
And that's precisely what I'm calling you. What?
Warden Lagarde is the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me? I'm the one in charge around here.
Don't... Okay.
It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous. Preposterous, even.
Hold it!
Miles, you smooth fucker. Sadly, it is not. Although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is the killer. Breaker? Surely it's the breaker switch, right? This piece of evidence proves that Warden the Guard is the killer. I mean, they were insinuating the sweet scent before. Surely it's the breakers.
Take that!
Okay, I was wrong. That's fine. I'll save. I haven't saved recently. Maybe it's the sweet scent.
Take that!
Wait, really? Okay, okay, game. Alright, fine. I see you. Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser. The police dog? We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you.
Oh ho ho, darling, you're priceless. You are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do put him in his place.
She's down herself now. I love the idea of us literally bringing the judge down. Like, the judge is like, man, even I'm doubting things. It seems Judge Gavella may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. Ayo.
You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as a coincidence, however.
Indeed, then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself.
Yeah, alright. When we have this case, will finally be at an end.
You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing?
Can I just say, she can't be the killer, she loves animals. Yeah, that's how it works. Can I just say, I originally suspected her for being the murderer for a very specific reason. And this is really stupid. But you know how every single time we get to like, when we have like these like testimonies, right? Especially when they're the killer, they usually have like their body transform in some way. You know, like they have like, you know, their toupee comes flying off or something like that. Something like that always happens. And when I first saw this lady, my brain was like, if she's the murderer, her coat's gonna go flying off her body. That was the reason I suspected her. Because I was like, yeah, she could have like a really dramatic you know, like reveal of her being the killer when she has like her coat fly off and like, I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's just, honestly, I've called a murderer in these games off character design too before. Yeah, exactly. I'm not crazy. We'll see if it does happen. Okay, but there's just something about like the character design, right? Where it's almost like it looks like something is like hidden or they need to change something about it. Guess we'll find out. Okay. Good morning, Lily. Gant, specifically. What was the thing about Gant? God, I hated Gant, but... Oh, no, that Gant looks like the criminal? Oh, yeah, no, Gant looks like the criminal. No. I'm pretty sure, like, straight away, I was like, this guy is fucking evil. Like, the fact that, like, the way he talks and stuff like that, the way they've literally written him as a character is just evil. For sure. Oh, hey, Miss Murder Scarf is the current suspect? Yes. Look at everyone else's designs, then look at his. Yeah, right? It's like, well, Lana or Emma didn't do it or whatever. Like, all these other people didn't do it. It's gotta be that evil bitch. Ugh.
Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie.
Wrong voice.
The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went into the prison? I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began.
You didn't sleep?
Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of me having entered or left the prison proper.
Well, yeah, because the thing is the thing. Anyway. I'm gonna save. Actually, wait. I'll wait a little before I save. Ashley's playing Skyrim, as she should. Hope she's enjoying that. Alright, for the moment I thought you meant Gantz, the aim of manga. Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's Gantz. Wait, no, it doesn't have a Z at the end, does it? It's just Gant. Gaunt? He's an evil guy. He's from the previous games. He's from the DLC of the first game, from my recollection.
I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. Simply no way I could be the killer.
Give me a break. Miss Owl doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everybody and just come clean.
Oh dear, I'm afraid you're the one making things difficult.
Can you tell that I don't know how to do her voice? Every time I forget what type of inflection I give her, and I'm like, shit. Every time, because I never quite decided on like a specific inflection. Because she was saying a lot of French words at the beginning. So I was trying to make her like a little bit as I said, I never went into the prison. Like, I don't, that was more Italian. You know, I just don't, I was going more like a French kind of direction. And now she's giving me no French words. And my brain's like, what accent do I use now? And then I realized that the voice I kind of gave her is very slightly like tonal shift from the judge, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
If you think I'm lying, go and check the records.
It's very slightly different. And she clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it.
Dinner is cooked. Just Katie, macaroni and cheese sauce with hamburger. You have it with hamburger? And some roast veggies on the side. Very nice. Sounds good. Sounds tasty. Okay. Victim died in the cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went into the prison? I was too busy with my work. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show. So if we could prove that she at least left her office at some point, we'll be dandy. Maybe. I think I need to press first. Alright, what is this line?
Hold it!
Next. Hamburgers sometimes, tuna other times. When I do the hamburger, I pull out a bunch of spices because I've discovered I like my hamburger spiced up. Good on you, okay? What type of spices? What type of spices do you think are acceptable as a part of a hamburger? Just genuinely curious. Because I wouldn't spice up a hamburger, much less any type of burger. Spices are great to have around. I mean, I like salt. I'm not great with spices. Unless it's cinnamon, of course. That's a chronic problem. The murder took place in his cell. You seem very happy to accept that.
And why shouldn't I be? It seems the most likely place for it to have happened without drawing attention. And besides, they found Knight's body in his cell.
Yes, but that was from being struck by Mr. Caserado. Though I needn't tell her that, I suppose.
I take
it there's also been no testimony to the contrary.
What does it matter? Knight being killed in his cell doesn't go against any of the facts anyway.
Right.
Hold it!
Ground beef, not a hamburger. Yeah. No, sorry, I did understand that for reference. Cinnamon is one of them. You put cinnamon in a burger? Explain it to me. I want to hear about this. Does it make it tasty? Or like sweet? Like, would I like hamburgers if there was cinnamon on them? Like, now I need answers. I'm not saying I don't like a beef patty. I eat beef patties. They're just not a preferential. And do you have any evidence that you didn't enter the prison?
Please, darling, let me finish.
I really need to like play this game quicker because I have to go to bed tonight. Sorry, let me rephrase. I have to go to bed in an hour and a half and my brain is like, but I really wanted to finish this case tonight. If we don't get to the end of this case tonight, I'm gonna be devastated.
I was too busy with work, you see.
Oh, I read that? Okay,
Hold it!
started out as salt, pepper, thyme, sage, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, mustard powder, cloves, and cayenne. So basically just everything you possibly can. That's insane, man. You're fairly close, I believe. I don't know. I hope so. At least we got through like the investigation phase. So if I concentrate, which is never, since I've thrown in cumin, curry, garam masala, and a few other things. Not all together, right? You just mean like a smattering of few at a time, right? Like ones that are compatible. And you didn't notice anything missing.
I must confess, I'm a rather messy girl. And I have my forgetful one at that. I put something down and it's lost forever. It's a curse, darling, a curse. I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone, poof, just like that.
What? She still has a job?
Honestly, if somebody came into my office and took something, it might be years before I noticed. Even if I had a reason to go into the prison, I simply wouldn't have had the time.
Right.
Hold it!
And sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance, but what if you took another route?
Oh, come now, sweetie.
Wait, what'd she just say? R.
Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Until yesterday I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. This way, right?
Take that!
Through the fence.
Warden, you took the knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you wouldn't have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. You would have been able to. I don't know what I just said, but it didn't sound right.
Hehe, a gold star for creativity, darling. How would I have got through the fence? Extremely high fence, topped with razor wire with 1,000 volts of electricity going through it. Yeah, how's she supposed to have got through?
The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room, and then you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. How much effort I'm going to mix it all together and you get something interesting with low effort. Mix compatibility stuff together and you get a better result. That's good. Tortilla is a French-Canadian meat pie. You can share the link to the original, which is... I can share the link to the original, which is excellent. Okay, cool. Interesting. I didn't realize that was... I just kind of skimmed over that word, like, alright. I didn't even think about it. Okay.
Utterly ridiculous.
Nope.
Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden the guard was on the detention center side. How could she have ever reached the power room?
Oh. No.
Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you dug yourself a real hole now. If there is no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the beat breaker is out of the question.
There must be a way she could have done it.
Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you lost everything.
What if I don't find a solution? She might still wriggle out of this.
Hey, I said take a breath, not freak out and completely lose your mind. There's nothing to be gained but banging your head against the same wall, yeah?
God, I love him. No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Wait, what?
Objection!
Carnus?
You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence.
That was reflexive. That was a reflexive objection. Yep, that's how it goes. But now I've yelled it. If I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me.
Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence.
Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. An accomplice? She couldn't have done it alone, but what if she wasn't alone?
Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo.
I believe that Warden Lagarde had an accomplice.
Overruled.
Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong.
The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets.
The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to.
I see you've realized your error, and we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing.
And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerato's escape.
The only ones who are free to roam are the animals.
Which, we do, their animals did do it.
And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker.
No, so our accomplice must be human.
Then who did it, given that it could not have been a prisoner or a guard?
Let me save, because I'm not sure.
Objection!
I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. Okay, so we're thinking about all the same person, hopefully, which is, your boy Sarwit. I have just the evidence to show who the free roaming person was. Oh, I'm presenting evidence. This one? Mr. Sarwit's bracelet.
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets.
Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner.
What do you mean? And who is this prisoner?
Oof. It was broken, wasn't it? I still can't believe that he was the one. I thought like Connors would make more sense. Nope, it's the model prisoner. God damn it. Can't even get himself out of trouble when he's in prison. Frank Sarwit, Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. Ooh, she's sweating now. Tasty tasty sweat. My god. And strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while.
That is pretty funky. I don't mean in a good way.
It could be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, couldn't it? Although you are in a habit of giving such leeways to certain others. Carnus, for example.
Mr. Edgeworth, that was pure speculation.
Objection!
In that case, why do we ask Mr. Sarwit himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in the crime. He was just told to turn the power off for a favor. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, if it was the warden, then the warden's pet is the logical accomplice. No. But we do know the alligator is working for him. Her favorite pet animal, the alligator, is still a viable option.
The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there are two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera going outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrical fence in the yard.
Okay.
But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop by having Mr. Sawat shut off the corresponding breakers.
Dun dun.
Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun.
And do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde?
Huh? No, darling, you got me. I admit it. Warden, tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
What? Alright, where is she going with this? And there's still whatever metal thing, the alligator. Yes, which we're almost definitely sure is the weapon. Probably. Which could very easily, so for reference, I think in one of our pieces of evidence. Well, I mean the bell. This one. Wait, is it this one? The other Takanis's knife, which was seized by the police during his arrest. There's a good chance that she has access to Mr. Canis's knife in order to implicate him.
No way.
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You got her.
Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be wriggling out of this now.
As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Mr. Knight, did we? No, sweetums. No, we didn't.
What?
Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Verity dear, I doubt you or your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She is all merciful. You have but to confess and you shall be saved.
Oh. Ah!
Oh gosh, alright, I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said.
Who's he?
Carnus, that awful assassin.
Carnus?
How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived.
Really?
The moment we were alone, he said this to me.
You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this other institution.
Others?
Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs will do anything I ask of them.
Of course he wasn't talking about the real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. And then he said one last thing.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here.
I do not doubt that he would say this. Oh, that's ominous.
I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you or your precious family.
Or is this a fabrication?
I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer?
Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him, too. So you were smuggling in contraband. How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prison side and went back through the fence.
That explains the sweet smell, because they were passing cake to the guy in the cell, to Canis. Simply dropped the packages down the well on the prisoner side and then went back through the fence. Okay.
Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume.
It's a beautiful piece of perfume.
So that's what the sweet smell was.
Yes, It was a signal for Conus's dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course.
Kinda pretty easy keeping him from finding out.
Oh, we're very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canus's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either.
Well, main course was good. Veggies are, unfortunately, somewhat burnt. How did you burn vegetables? Excuse? Must admit, I rushed them a bit. What are you doing burning vegetables? How do you burn vegetables? I guess you would put them in the oven? How would you do that? Sorry, I only steam vegetables, so like, that's like reverse burning, you know what I mean?
With her on his side, Conus couldn't fail. Frankly, would sneak out again early in the morning.
Switch the breaker back on, and our work was done.
If I may say so, this doesn't exonerate her from doing the crime though. Like, they've basically assumed at this point that Mr. Knight was killed originally in his cell at some point, probably. And or at least knocked unconscious, like, I'm not sure. I roasted them. Ah, okay. I definitely had that happen, but crispy veggies are still okay. Toss the veggies in a bit of olive oil, throw them on a baking sheet, and put them in the oven. Crazy. I mean, it's good when you do that with carrots, though. Roast carrots, pretty cool. I can't imagine doing that with broccoli. You probably don't do it with broccoli, but should do some roast carrots for Adara at some point again. I know she likes them.
Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance, you have shared a great deal, Warden. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account.
Don't fucking cat a tail to her whales. What are you saying, mate? She's still committing to doing a terrible thing. Just saying. Carrots, broccoli, parsnip. Ah yes, parsnips. Who could ever forget the par and the snip? Anyway. Broccoli, I probably won't do again. It needs less time than the other two. You can always just put it in afterwards, mate. Like, put the others in for like 5 minutes. You know, just sit there on your phone for a couple of minutes, then chuck in the broccoli. Should be right. Hi, Ultra. They're just bleached carrots. I can't imagine that. In the sense that I don't eat parsnips, so my brain's like, why would I ever eat one, you know?
I've been the most dreadful for. I don't know. I've forgotten to be the one. I was supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's burnout was also one of our delivery days. And so frankly, Pressart did his usual work with the breakers. And there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard.
So that's the secret behind the fixes system, and why was she?
The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heavens know how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to him. No matter what I said, or how much evidence I present to him, he simply won't say a word.
That's why you were interrogating Mr. Connors over and over.
Exactly. I was trying to track down—
That is an ominous fucking— I don't like that at all.
I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his.
Whoa, damn. She's angry.
It's okay, girl. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote.
Does that mean Connors was the one who did it? Now I have no— I had a bit of regard, like, okay. His letters, then I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games, too.
But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's Oh, you just can't comprehend it.
I don't know, man. I don't believe it.
As you have heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
Parsnips are a recent discovery for me. They're quite nice. Genuinely kind of like potato, but a little more flavorful. A slight bit of black pepper taste to them. Okay, okay. Interesting.
The words of Water Lagarde's confession have cleansed her of all suspicion.
You don't say that when it's like my dude, though. Fuck you.
Surely there's no need to hound her any longer.
Call the dogs! You don't fucking round this shit up. Get her, missile! You got this. She has really been cleared of all suspicion, though. Is there more to uncover?
I mean, yeah. What are you talking about? There's still so many suspicious things, like the sweet smell on the body. Like, I don't...
Like, what? I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the Goddess of Justice would agree.
So you mean to make her suffer even more than she has already?
Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Carnus does nothing to prove her of innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Knight's body.
And where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's in the fact the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal our delivery. What do you make of that?
Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now, the whole world probably smells of it. Someone must have just rubbed off on the body. That does match the statement that Mr. Casarado provided.
Smell? Yeah, always smell kinda nice down there. Nice. Gee, I don't know, still smell like dessert, I guess.
Smell had permeated the well.
Which is crazy.
You've been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn the session of the court.
No, what do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? What can I do? Is this as far as we go? Come on, Fender. Finally, so we're actually done.
Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned.
Back. Hold it. Fender, let's go.
Who was that?
Hey! You can't forget about little old me. Come on, Judge G. Things are just getting good.
Fender.
Are you objecting to my adjourning of this session?
Heh. No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that.
I love this guy. Is this what you call one of the mangas? Mangoes? Absolutely. Can't remember the last time I've eaten parsnips. I've certainly never cooked them. I probably ate them when I was like a kid. If I was like bullied into it by grandparents, you know, like eat everything on your plate, and I'm like, I'm autistic, I can't do it. You know, I wish that was the case when I was a kid. Man. It's so sad to think how much of like a bad rap you get as a kid for being a fussy eater. And then when you're older, you're like, oh, it's just a part of me. You really don't grow out of it. The only thing I managed to grow out of was probably having like more tomato-based stuff. Like I still can't eat a raw tomato, but I at least have like pasta and like parma and stuff like that. Like before I would have stayed away from other tomato-based things other than pizza. But that was the transition point where I was like, hang on, I like pizza, so a parma should be fine. And then I started having parmas and I love them, like fuck. Anyway, it's like one of my Japanese animes. Nice. Why does she have a gavel that extends to a croquette mallet? I hadn't thought about that, but she is a judge. So maybe it's her own version of her own gavel that she carries around with her. Parma? Yeah. It has an R in it. That's the word that we use for Parmigiana. Or Palmy, apparently. Apparently in Australia, there's some places where they call it Parma, and there's other places where they call it Palmy. I'm pretty sure it's Palmy in like New South Wales. No, in like Queensland. And then like it's Palma in like New South Wales and where's Aylan? I need Aelin to verify these facts. And then Parma in like Victoria and stuff. It's weird, but yeah. Just Parmigiana. Because we're lazy.
You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Bender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone?
Pardon. Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court?
What? No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is.
Ah, yes, I'd forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender.
How could you? You're killing me here.
We've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time. Sorry.
Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. God, I love him.
Work, you say? Somehow, I don't believe you've worked a day in your life.
Wow.
Now let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness?
Now, amusing, but what is there left to ask?
I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Fief's here has something more to tell us about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears.
Eating chocolate is contempt of court. It kind of is. It's very, there's certain behaviors in court that are very improper. And unwrapping food in the middle of court and eating it can fall into that category, especially if you did it very obviously. Especially if you're offering the judge a chocolate. Like, if you had the defense attorney walk up and be like, do you want a chocolate? You'd be like, nope, contempt of court, because you're trying to get on the judge's good side. Obviously they're playing it off as a bit of a joke here, but there is very particular, I don't know, I always find it funny when you play these games. They're like, haha, lol, that's silly. You know, there's a lot of like silly things that you just kind of like wave off. When in reality, it's like, no, you would have gotten so many contempts of court. Or belittling the judge, says the judge who assumes guilt based on trash evidence to a defense attorney. Does the doggy want a treat kind of attitude? I wasn't thinking that, but it is now. I'm just gonna close my window, give me a second. Actually, yeah, well, okay. I need to go to the toilet, so I'll be back, guys. Just enjoy the jazzy music, okay? Alright, I'm here. I dread the day I have to do jury duty. I know, right? My dad, it was always really funny with my dad because he always had some sort of excuse, obviously, for for not doing jury duty. There's always some good reason. Typically. Such good music. I actually, yeah, jury duty is funny. Yeah, because there's always, like, I feel like some sort of reason you can usually get out of it. At least from my experience so far, and it was funny because Dad was like, you're lucky to probably be called up to do jury duty, like twice in your entire lifetime. And then I'm pretty sure Adara got called up, like, twice or 3 times for some weird reason. Like, within the first couple of, like, I don't know, within a couple of years or something. And it was kind of like, how does this keep happening? You're still in school or something. Like, she's in year 12. You can get called up more than once? Yeah. House, I don't know how to express this to you, but we have a far lower population density than you. That's probably the reason, at least. Yes, you can definitely get called up more than once, but I feel like, again, most people have some sort of excuse. Like, I could definitely say, I'm probably under the pay threshold, so I could probably argue that, you know, if I had to literally not go to work, if I had to not work for 3 months, I would not be able to, like, pay my share of rent, you know, like, there's probably something like that I could probably say. Oh, fair. But yeah, like, I can imagine, like, in other countries, you know, you guys have, like, so many more people to choose from, right? And while in Australia, it's like, yeah, 28, like, million? You guys gotta remember that there are more people subscribed to PewDiePie and probably, like, Jacksepticeye and Markiplier and whoever than there is total people in Australia, okay? Don't forget that. There's more, like, kangaroos or cows, probably, than Australia, you know? In the US, people get it more than once all the time. My mom got it, like, 2 or 3 times last year. Damn. I just thought it was mandatory only the first time or something. No. Well, it might be in your country. I've got it twice, though. Actually being on jury, we didn't do. Okay. But yes, I've never had to do it, and I hopefully never intend to, because I'm scared. I don't think I'd be able to deal with something like that. On the other hand, it would be a good learning experience, I feel, if it did happen, but that doesn't mean I want it to happen, because again, I feel like I'd need to, yeah, no. Anyway, I've read court etiquette handouts and they even warn you not to do things like roll your eyes or make faces in reaction to the witness testimony. I don't know if you get contempt for that, but it's the judge's turf. That's very true. I feel like that's the reason why I would be kicked out of jury duty, just because I'd be sitting there, like, if I heard anything too gory, I would just be, like, doubling over in pain, like, like, I would be, like, sick to my stomach, and they would be like, just get her out of here. Anyway, let's keep going, because I need to go to bed and I want to finish this case.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing? He's trying to coax Lorden Wagan into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Nine's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Carnus. She did? No way. If he was convicted of committing murder here, that would have been grounds for a transfer to another prison, most likely a more secure facility. Where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh? Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
Okay.
That's not fair. I was all ready to prosecute him. I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah?
Nice. Now Mr. Winner has to go along with it too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course, how could I refuse the silver-tongued devil? Edikins, you have such a way with words.
It's just doing my job, Thief.
Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. I do say you'll let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned.
I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender. Ew, me either.
Thank you for the timely intervention. I was saying I just have ADHD, so I wouldn't pay the fuck attention in jury. Can you imagine? Like, I would be sitting there. It would be like sitting in church, right? Where you sit there and, you know, you're paying attention a little bit, and the next thing you know, you're like, man, I'm bored. Like, what's it? I remember one time, my dad and I, we were sitting in fuck, what was it? An ordination. So basically a minister that's being, well, a person who's ordained as a minister to then be able to preach. And I was bored, and Dad was like, I wonder how many, like, bricks are on the back wall. And so of course I'm starting to be like, I wonder how many bricks there are on the back wall, and I would like try to count them. That was probably his way to keep me from like probably like falling asleep in the middle of in the middle of that ordination, because that was a long heckin' thing.
Hey, it's the least I could do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard, and besides, the defense never rests, am I right? Simeon's depending on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there, and we can't foul this up yet now.
I like the idea that Fender is really just introverted and doesn't want to deal with people more than he needs to. But also, I also like to believe that he has, whether he would admit it to Miles or not, he has actually a lot of faith in Miles' ability to like depend on him. That, you know, like Fender would step in if he was doing something wrong, but which is obviously evident here. Like, he's a good teacher. He's someone who steps in when you absolutely need it. Otherwise, he's just gonna let you make your own mistakes and let you keep wandering. He'd be a great dad.
Which means you're up to the bat, Miles McSmiles.
I'll be honest, for a second, I didn't read it, and I was like, Miles McScum? Anyway, Miles McSmiles.
Show him that never rest spirit.
Best ever.
I shall.
Fabulous, then let's get started.
Did you count width and height and multiply? No. So the problem is that it was really like, it wasn't like a solid brick. It was like really like jagged, like different bricks every single time. Like, it wasn't perfect. If I ever go back to that church, I'll take a photo for everyone. It's like, it's not a church I usually go to, but in saying that, I've been there like plenty of times in my life, at least when I was under the age of like 12. Since then I probably haven't been in there anyway. But yeah, no, they were all like jagged different bricks, and that's why my dad was like, I wonder how many are there. Like, it wasn't uniform.
I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man, Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed the poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened.
Oh man, I know, right?
The victim, Mr. Knight, yes. I did him the most terrible disservice.
Yes, you killed him.
Suppose you could put it that way. If it weren't for such a sorry excuse for a warden, this never would have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit.
Stop praising her when you don't know that she's actually lying or not.
I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude.
He's sitting up there like, boo, you're wrong. He's like, can you imagine Mr. Knight, you know, as like a ghost, or like in looking down on everything happening and just sitting there and being like, I know that Edgeworth is the one that got me convicted and put in prison to be murdered in the first place, but like, get her. Get my murderer, Miles. Like, come on. I'm rooting for you here. You've clearly never met Mr. Knight. There's dust on my computer. Really don't. Okay. Save time. Save time. Night. I shouldn't approve, but kick her ass. Yes, exactly. I don't think anyone could have done it, but that dreadful man Carnus. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a liking to him. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, well, she said she took all the letters, right? But there's the chess diagram.
Objection!
Nope. Okay. Damn it. It would be really interesting if we had like a comic book, right? Or like an anime or something that was all about ghosts or like people who are perceivably passed on to heaven who can like look down on people and just their perspective of like the human earth as it exists. It'd be so much fun, but I don't know how I would like articulate like so many things. Like you just have like people sitting behind you that are just like, hey, I haven't seen this game before, you know? Like, I don't know about you, but if I was a ghost, like, I would totally just I would try and find, like, another gamer guy, like, a gamer person. And I'd just be, like, haunting them, but I'm really just there to, like, watch them play video games, you know? Because I'm like, oh, shit, I'm dead. And I can't see, like, the next Persona game. But if I, like, haunt this person or just, like, hang out with them, like, behind them, I can watch it. That's all I would do. Have you seen the show Ghosts? It's a movie, TV show, anime? That's technically the first part of Yu Yu Hakusho. Really? The protag dies and just chills in the in-between world and watching his life after he dies. That's kind of sad. There's a British version and an American version. TV show. Okay. Ancient Egypt has ghost stories like that. Ooh, yum. Do you have an example? That is not too complicated. Because it would be like a lot of writing. There's no telling what went on between them. Perhaps he simply took a disliking for him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sort of details, it was him. He stabbed the poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. Simply has to be what happened.
Hold it!
I'm gonna skim through this a little bit, guys, just to see. I just want to skim through it. I'll say anything if it's important. Well, I'm gonna say this part though. Surely you're not suggesting the dog threw the body down the well?
Told you already, darling. Canis has more dogs than that beastly creature.
Pets on the outside. You're saying you recruited another dog?
And does this dog have a name? If I knew that, my life wouldn't be so much easier now, wouldn't it?
It's a little more than a house of cards. Okay, so I need a push that.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
TV show premise. Young couple inherit an old house. Lady has a near-death accident that allows her to see ghosts. Turns out there's ghosts from all sorts of eras who all died on the land. Damn. Is it like recent or old? And by that I mean, is it cringe or like pretty good? There may be two different questions, but like, answer however you like. Hmm. I like how she started showing him just a little bit of like attention and he's like, no, I can't do it. There's something so funny about him not being able to deal with like women being like affectionate over him. He's just like, no, get off me, married man, get off me. I have to literally pull them off me sometimes.
Whoever sort of details, it was him.
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about the sordid details?
Well, we all know that Canis once did for a living that the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured at his...
Wrong voice.
Already injured his neck, I think. Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in anyway.
Let's make some sort of report for the warden. You seem very keen for us to think you didn't know much about that.
That's because I didn't, sweetie, and the victim was simply a fun target for that monster, nothing more. I expect Canis used a chisel that was hidden in the chess set, don't you? Awfully grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course, you can talk about them some more.
Okay. Okay, this is... We're getting there. I've also only seen the American one rather than the British one. Seems pretty good. I've mostly seen disconnected segments on YouTube around certain plot points. Okay. Wait. Q ghost drama rom-com, including some things as bingy trash TV, the hippie teaching the posh noblewoman about the uses of a slightly broken washing machine. Wink, wink. Okay. I feel like there was a trend of shows like that. I remember Ghost Whisperer and True Calling. How the fuck did you know that chisel existed, lady? Why wouldn't she? Wasn't she in the thing? Was she in the room when we did it? Hi, Tap! You're always forgiven, Tap. There's nothing to forgive. Both answers are valid. Are you insinuating that she wasn't there for that discussion? I thought she was. But maybe she wasn't. She came in just afterwards, maybe? I don't think I would have picked up on that if you hadn't said that.
Objection!
No? Maybe I need to press one more time. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Oh, God.
Hold it!
And which chess set would that be precisely? Why, the one the victim brought in, sweetie. Do try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, or so I'm led to believe. The naughty boy snuck a chisel inside of it. Can you imagine?
How does she know about the chisel in the chess set? Only a few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to certain deductions we made. So, how did she find out?
Of course, in the hands of a killer. Like Canis, even a chisel would serve as a deadly weapon.
So should I be presenting this?
Objection!
Okay, wrong thing. Thinking via the chess set. Yeah, no, you're right. Illy Tam.
Yee.
Sprinkle positivity. Chat is cute. Oh, well, how do I? Fun ghost story I saw a long time ago while American Horror Story was every season is a new unrelated story, and the first one was just about a haunted house. Was really edgy at the time, but I enjoyed it until the Nothing Burger ending that happened at the end. The Nothing Burger. I watched up to season 3. Season 2 was a good ride. What do you consider a nothing burger? You mean they're building up all to, like, what's nothing?
Warden LaGuard, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please call me Fifi or Sweetie Pie if you prefer.
No, I'm not doing that. If my boyfriend finds out, he might take me to court, and he has a pretty good, winning chance. Not because I let him or anything. I just anyway. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance.
Teehee. Aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here.
No. Come on, Sedgeworth, don't let her get inside your head. You said earlier you didn't know much about the night, in which case I find it rather strange you know about the chisel.
Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection!
Incorrect. Don't go dredging up unnecessary feelings. Like they made it out that the ending is about to matter, and there is something going to be taken from it, but no. Literally everyone dies except the neighbor who turns out to be the mother of the Antichrist, which was a subplot that didn't amount to much. That's a pretty shitty ending. In saying that, that's my opinion of every horror movie ever. Like, either everyone lives or someone survives and it's just survivor's guilt, you know? Like, there's no, like, two ways about it and it sucks, alright? And either way, I'm gonna be traumatized from watching those shows, so can't do it. You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That's entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Knight didn't bring the chess into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived.
What? Well, I mean, of course that when Mr. Saint came in.
Objection!
You checked him. I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. But if you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it then and there? Judge Gabelle, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set?
I did not.
If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Dun 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 dun.
Indeed, such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through.
Precisely. So Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit.
Alright, down. There's no need to rub it in. You got me, alright? A question now. That was when I learned about the chess set. Please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him.
Right. More.
Alright. One moment, Warden. This is significant development.
A new testimony is probably required.
Clear up this awful misunderstanding.
I'm back. Welcome back. Okay. Still caught up.
Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde. The truth this time.
Oh, lies are beginning to wear thin.
I said I questioned that, but it wasn't anything serious, do you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Now it was no different. But we had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away.
The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate.
So it was simply a conversation with a new detainee that seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity. Exactly. I knew you'd understand.
Objection!
Well, I don't.
I suppose we shall siege, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
Fuck. I'm not gonna get through this, guys. Okay, guys. We gotta focus. Gotta focus up. Gotta remember the words and the history and the truth and the guacamole. Don't forget the guacamole. Okay.
I said I questioned that, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand.
Okay, make a point of talking to every new incomer was no different. We had a little chat, you might call it, and after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. This doesn't really tell me anything, I will say. So I feel like I need to press for details, right?
Hold it!
Again, I'm gonna click through this a little bit.
Hold it!
Wait, did I mention I'm probably going to Hawaii? You did! I'm super excited. If I go. Why do you say if I go? I did work stuff, got distracted, decided I had too much energy, exercised, and remembered what I was doing, lol. GG, well done. It's always good when that happens. When you remember something that you initially forgot. Because Hawaii is very expensive. That's fair.
That guy, honest.
He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn. I suppose he must have been hungry.
And croissant and promoting a pawn.
It seems he spares no one from his obsession with chess. No, we told me I had him taken back to himself straight away.
Hold it!
You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? What would my motive have been, darling? I told you, I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Carnus, but Knight has nothing to do with that animal.
Drillin does hate Carnus.
Wait, what? I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Carnus, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
Well, that's a lie.
Objection!
Okay. If you go to Hawaii, will you take pictures of any ducks you find? There are cool Hawaiian ducks. That's a good request. I approve, yes. Please take as many duck photos and, like, just cute animal photos. Okay. Can I request any, like, just in your normal neighborhood, any squirrel photos or raccoons? That's my request. Just in your normal day-to-day life, okay? Because I don't get to see raccoons or squirrels. We've got possums and ibises. They're not as cool. Tinkerbell decide to be a judge because of her name, or absolutely, 110%. She might have been born into it though, like maybe her parents were judges and they were like, obviously I'll name her Verity Gavel. Name her Verity. I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this? I found it in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Carnus's cell too. What do you mean?
Objection!
Oh, come now, don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option. If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right? Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Carnus had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what if I did? You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. Duh! And then whoever appeared by night, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men, and it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Carnus's henchman sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had the chat with the Bronxer. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And then you questioned Knight. You made another discovery. For there, inside his chest set, you found a hidden chisel.
The murder weapon itself.
As far as you're concerned, that chisel meant one thing, Carnus. Thus you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Carnus, and that's why you killed him. Shit, that's pretty crazy, guys. Hershey is a part of- wait. Squirrels are too scared to come by my part of the neighborhood now. Hershey is a part of the reason. But squirrels! Hey, ibises are cool. Okay, but they're a little scary. You know what I mean? Like, they're really big and long, and they look like they could literally eat you. Like, I'm a little intimidated. The same sort of intimidation as I have around pelicans, okay? I don't want to go near anything that has too long of a beak, okay? I just feel like it's gonna, like, chow down on me, you know? And pelican- well, I'm not saying I'm scared of ibises and pelicans. Okay, I'm just saying I wouldn't go near them. I just sat down with possums before. It's freaky because they still as a statue. They do. They just try to move past without them freaking out, but possums are pretty harmless. They're funny. Bison are pretty harmful. We take bets on how many tourists get gored in Yellowstone every year. Oh my god. That's mortiful. Mortable? Yeah, that's mortifying. Alright, take some bison pics after work. Hell yeah. I do want to see a bison though. Bin chickens, possums are so cute. I don't get those ever. It's always funny how that's mortable. You know it. I always find it funny how I feel like other people around the world crave to see each other's animals. I'm sick of koalas and kangaroos and echidnas. Okay, I'm never sick of echidnas. Echidnas are adorable. But I'm so sick of those. Meanwhile, you guys, I want to see a squirrel, and then you guys are like, fucking squirrels are everywhere. I want to see a koala, in the wild.
Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be a little room for doubt.
Little room?
I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by...
Oh, here we go again.
In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden? It's a good joke. It's all a big stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you?
I think we've proved that it's you who didn't understand things correctly.
Me? Please, darling. I understand it all perfectly. Well, thank you very much.
And wow. Amazing. Amazing. Yes. She's going to take off, guys. She's gonna be the best helicopter ever. Yes. Go return to your home.
And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this, Your Honor. The verdict...
I'm curious to hear what the warden has to say.
What?
You're a dull Verity. Just one last thing to say, then, Mr. Edgeworth.
You rang?
Does anyone remember a certain autopsy report? Of course, we received the finalized version only this morning. That's right. I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. My dick isn't even that long, so how could I have done the murder? 4 inches.
Wait.
Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound?
No.
Forgive me, oh goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake.
God, Gaveld is so switchy, I fucking swear. Either top or bottom, you know? Make your goddamn decision.
Looks fuck, wrong voice. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now,
What do we do? Nani? I'll see if I can find some deer. Thank you, Ava! I will never forget the one time I saw a raccoon. Wow, they do exist. I remember when Adara went overseas, I was explicitly take pictures of squirrels, and she was like, don't worry, I got you. We have the same amount of excitement for that. My power's out. How are you here then? Wrath, how did you do it? Breaking the 4th wall. Nice joke, Han. Thanks. No, that's the worst. It's pretty good size, massive even, some would say too much. Maybe. So bottom, that she'd top if that's what her partner wanted. Probably.
Oh, looks to me like the Milestatron's out of commission.
You're a determined too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Throw things at their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first man-blown thing that comes to mind. I think Gumshoe's been working with Phoenix a little too much.
Look, Detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy.
Can I just say, I really want Fender. Wait, Astania, do you know? Astania, is there any instance where Phoenix and Fender interact with each other? Because they would be such good friends. You know, I feel like they would vibe, you know?
Look, Detective, I'm as much a man of action as the next guy. But without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road.
We can't give up now. We have to do something.
The crocodile has the knife. I'm certain that Warden Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there in this facility?
I know. Not to my knowledge, unfortunately. Fuck. Chisel size varies in width. Oh, you're talking about chisels. He's talking about chisels, guys. He's talking about chisels. Chisels, 4 inches for a chisel is perfectly acceptable. Right. Okay. But you know that fic? The one you always recommend me that I still need to read through? Not to my knowledge, unfortunately. Wait. That might be what called a service top mean. Okay, cool. Good to know. Gotta learn from someone. Okay, so I need to go back to that. Okay. I really should. I really should. Just, dude, I was actually reading a fic. And I actually really love, like, the fic made it very much, like, Edgeworth was very, like, autistic coded. And it's just, like, one of those things where it's like, man, I feel validated. Because he'd just be like, man, I just need a minute. It's like, this has been a little too much. Or, I think in the line, there was a line that was specifically like, I don't like it when plans change too dramatically. I need a moment. And I was like, oh my god, that's me. Like, it was great.
It seems we do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide it.
Okay, come on, let's keep going.
Objection!
After investigation too, though. I feel like I need to at least start. This, though. You know, sorry, Apollo Justice. I feel like I need to, I keep getting intimidated by the long fic you send me, because I'm like, oh, but I still haven't played Apollo Justice. Like, I feel like I should play that first, you know?
Come on, G, you're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender?
No, not me, I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas?
What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Confound it, this question throws everything we've deduced out the window.
Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties.
Let's hope this. I can't think of anything. I need more time. No design to admit it. We can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said? Simeon's counting on us. Without us, he's...
Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death.
Even though he was, you know, kind of a mean guy.
There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. I, for one, won't walk away until we have some.
Okay.
Gee, Miles, your little buddy there's quite the motivational speaker.
That's why I keep her around, to be honest. She loves to make up all this fluff about being an assistant, but she's really just my motivational, assistant. She helps me express emotions. Because while I'm not sure they talk directly, you get childhood stories of the 3 kids interacting? Sorry guys, bad habit. Interacting with Gregory. Nice, that's cute.
And she's right too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and help save his client. And you're just like him, remember? Right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Simeon's counting on you.
Judge Cavell.
You seem to have recovered from your composure.
Yas, bitch.
But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have to repeatedly propose misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations.
And you haven't?
If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor, and relieve you of your badge for good.
She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another.
Nothing to say? Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby...
Sir!
Mr. Edgeworth. Give my verdict.
That's it. I've been thinking about it the wrong way all this time. My theory was misguided. I was being misled.
The defendant, Syrian Saint.
That can't be right. She's my carum. She cares, so I don't have to. Paige, that's amazing because I feel like that's the line. I feel like that's something Adara would say to me. Adara literally, so she found out someone in her office was pregnant and she came home and she was like, I didn't know how to respond. Because there was like a group of other people who were like, oh my god, that's wonderful. What, you know, like, do you know that, like, what gender are you hoping for? Like, they gush about it, right? And she was sitting there like, congratulations. Like, why would you do that to yourself? And I was like, Adara, like, you can't, like, emote a little more than that. Literally, this is a great line. I'm gonna, wait, hold on. I'm gonna take a photo. I want to remember to tell her that. She's probably going to enter the room in the next, like, 10 minutes, but that's besides the point. She and Fender shenanigans. God, I love Fender. One of my battery backups have failed 6 days before the warranty will end. Yay! Okay. It's right, man. Listen, the worst case scenario is that you go without internet. Or whatever it is. Wait, did you say electricity's out? Sorry, I've literally forgotten. Cell phone. Yes. Okay, I missed that comment. The power's out, that's right. Remember, dude, there is always books to read. And remember, there's always sleeping. I don't know about you, I feel like if there was any, like, a really bad power outage, I would, like, as long as I didn't have work, I'd probably just, like, go to bed. Go on the Switch for as long as I could, and then go to bed. I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor.
I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed.
What? I love her shocked expression there. What? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of this dog, Helmut, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Carnes the obvious suspect at first.
This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Carnes? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murderer weapon, the purported murder weapon? Doing great. Knight admits stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon, rather than what was really used? In order to get Knight transferred, in order to get Carnes transferred. Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seems to suggest.
What does it suggest? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? That Mr. Carnes is the killer. And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us. Oh, Mr. Carnes has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right? Indeed, that was her plan right from the start. To frame Carnes.
Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde simply seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Carnes.
it's a free replacement for a 250 unit since its warranty is still good. That's good. That reminds me, I really need to call someone to like, I don't want to do it though. I need someone to service the washing machine. The washing machine, every so often, like the front buttons and stuff don't work, and it's like, fuck. Anyway, rain time. It's raining, is it? I get really weirded out when people say they're trying for a baby. That's fair. Gavel is so my favorite. Gavel is your favorite? Why? I definitely feel like it's weird to say that people are trying for a baby, because I feel like that's something you might only tell your parents. You know what I mean? Like, you go up to them and we're like, we're trying. I just, like sheepishly like mention it, kind of like, I know you really want grandchildren. We're working on it. But other than that, like, I wouldn't admit that to anyone, right? You're like, congratulations, you're trying. Like, I don't need to know the details. I think it's the hair and the outfit. Oh my god, though, right? She's stunning. I don't really like her personality, but her and the whole goddess of justice stuff makes me want to pull my hair out, but god, she's beautiful.
However, I think you know what I'm going to say next.
I need to keep going. I need to go to bed soon.
That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden the guard is the killer.
I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that'll prove it. The real murder weapon.
You cannot prove your theory, then the conversation ends here.
If we could just find the real murder weapon.
Objection!
How many times do we have to do this? We searched the prison from top to bottom.
Eustace is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse.
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate? I'm glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does? Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. Security gate detects metal. Which you mean you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it out. Oh. God, I hate this guy. Yes, Lily. She's one of the few characters I think look better in HD. Oh, okay. I haven't seen any of like the original stuff, so. Roll for skill check. No, don't make me. Guys, we had D&D this morning and I was rolling terribly. I only probably rolled above 10 once, and that was literally a nat 20. So if that's evidence of my luck for today. I got a 9. What am I rolling for? Oh, a D8. Oh, okay. Shit. Oh, I called him. This one. I always forget that D8s exist. I got a 3. 9 on a D8 is pretty good. No, it was on a D20, which is even worse. Guys, I fucked up, okay? I rolled it, okay? 3 or whatever I said. Precisely. If there is another murder weapon, it cannot have taken off the premises. Come on, game!
Find ourselves right back where we began.
What I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that you're a piece of shit if you don't know where the murder weapon is. Take your badge and I'll take you apart, and then I'll stomp upon your heart. Sorry. What? Alright, we know the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chest set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in.
Yes, the question of the hour.
Where is it? Come on, just let me choose. The fact that it's here with us shows a bladed object could have been brought through the facility. The fact that this is here with us... I skipped. Wait, hold up. What did it say? You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? Everything related to Karnas is with me now. Heavens know how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk. Is it talking about the chest set? The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility. The chisel. Are they just talking about the chisel? Sorry, this was not what I was thinking. I just want to choose the alligator. Like, I'm just trying to choose the alligator.
Take that! Overruled.
Okay, so I'm talking about how to get something into the thing. The chess set?
Take that!
Nope.
Overruled.
Fuck! Come on! Your prosecutor's badge. I know, right? That's what I always think. I'm like, the prosecutor badge. Okay. Wait, let me save. Before I keep fucking up. Because it was previously attached to a knife. It involves things coming into the prison that weren't brought by a visitor. The bell? Really? It seems like a weird nuance to have here.
Take that!
Alright, okay. Because blood means someone was attacked with a weapon. Sure. Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Carnus.
Yes, it was but one of my bells, one of two in existence.
Yeah. So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. As a part of the evidence, Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police. What? Mr. Carnus's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it.
The bell was attached to the chisel.
Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to that chisel.
That can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it.
Oh. Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. Pardon. In doing so, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Carnus. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. I didn't pick up on that. Was it sorry but messing with the evidence?
I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct? Warden Lagarde. Bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anyone could have set that up.
Objection!
Incorrect. Hey, I'm trying my best at 3 AM.
Somebody should get some sleep.
We all should. I'll be getting sleep soon. I think you're doing great, House. Yes, you are a very great house. All walls thoroughly intact. I believe it is... I read that. That was in the knife is now on the chisel, so it got removed from the knife. What skill check am I doing now? These particular bones are unique because there are only 2 of them in existence. What? By attaching the bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer.
But you don't have any proof that the knife was ever even here to begin with.
Hold it!
I don't, not yet anyway. Mr. Winner, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away.
Huh? Oh, but if you do something that's gonna make things awkward for me.
This isn't about convenient for you. You have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you?
Yeah, but you know.
This worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it.
Anywho, it's not my decision.
Fuck. I don't know voices anymore, guys.
Anywho, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it.
You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it!
Sorry, darling, but no, not without the evidence. Goddess of Justice cannot bestow her blessing on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of us
Come on, let me end. No, if we give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left. She'll kill the crocodile. We can't have it this way. Okay, please, stop her. What about Ali? We were such good friends.
We need that alligator to be alive. Or something. Spoken like a true Floridian. I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line.
I love the idea of him being like, he's like, man, I'm never this reckless. And it's literally like, this is how it is. The difference between being a defense attorney and a prosecutor. Reckless.
Only I can save Mr. Saint. Come on, we've been through this. Even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot.
Object. Just testing your luck. No way you roll less than 11 again. Fuck you. Alright, let's see, guys. Let's see. I rolled a 3. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep trying. We'll see. But if you go to sleep, I'll have the darkness to accompany me. That's okay. There's other streams out there. Elmer, I'm telling you, this die is not having it today.
I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels.
My love, my husband.
Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Walk away, walk away, walk away.
Wait, Your Honor.
This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth.
I've got it.
Got what, exactly?
Wait. I'm gonna wait before redeeming it again. I'm sorry. I probably put a limit on it.
The real murder weapon, of course.
It's probably a 5 minutes.
I know where Mr. Carnus' knife is.
Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. Not at all.
I love him so much.
If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing.
Huh. You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. This is terrible for my heart.
I can't lie either, man. It's okay.
There's no way you could. It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon?
Think, Miles, think. Somewhere not in even the police would search. A blind spot in the zoo. And a hiding place. No. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be?
Inside the body.
There's the faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. This is where the real murder weapon is. The yard!
Take that!
Here. In the yard.
Indeed.
I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain?
On the crocodile. Finally!
Of course, that's where it must be.
It's reacting to the crocodile.
The metal detector was reacting to something inside her, after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence.
The chisel.
Oh, didn't we just figure out that it isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Carnus had this channel in the dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right, the murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in the pond over there.
What? No, wait.
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gibber, we need to know what's inside that alligator.
Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian. I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try.
I forgot she was here.
Please, by all means.
God, I love her. It's great to have Regina back.
Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess?
I have nothing to confess.
As you wish, then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed.
Sir, we got it! Wow, that's a very interesting looking knife. I thought it'd be like a normal looking knife. This has to be it. Oh, it's probably related to the next case. Guaranteed.
It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was Carnus's knife. Making you the only person— oh right, that makes sense. You the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. We did it. I'm not the criminal here. This is all Carnus's doing. I did the right thing. That was a threat. He was Carnus's lapdog. Curse that despicable man, Carnus. Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. He ruined everything for me. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher, that terrible, despicable man. Curse him.
I'm not drawing out that line at this time of night. Damn. Take the clip. I fucking knew it. I told you. I fucking told you. I somehow clicked the wrong button. Guys, I told you. What did I say? I said the coat's gotta come off, and I was right. One of my favorite breakdowns. Yep, you called it. I fucking knew it. The coat was suspicious. Prosecutor winner. So, the test results have just come in. Winner. I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Oh my god. Alright, time for another roll of the die. Can Hannah roll above a 10? Let's see. I got a 2? We're doing great. It was almost a nat 20 as well. It was so close. And it rolled to a 2. 50% sure of roll— no, it isn't. No, it's a lie. Oh my god. Yeah, don't question me, girl. Okay. I might have to leave it here, guys. I need to go to bed. Traces of Bronco's knife were found on Mr. Carnus's knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir. Fwinner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little. With range?
Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up, and we're done.
Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I? We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Carnus. It will be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. It is interesting to think that Carnus is related to a bigger plot somewhere. Huh? Huh? There's Clueless, and then there's you. I guess we'd better get back to our investigation. Alright, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, swear. I can't wait to watch you at work. It's winning time. I hate him. Hate him so much.
I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, but now his would-be assassin has been murdered.
But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place.
The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth, in the eyes of both society and the law.
How can you say that?
You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in.
Fuck her. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe.
We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals.
Then why did you lie?
If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences.
What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take us?
I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth.
Just giving a light threat. She's so pretty. I love to watch you be here and don't. I'd love to watch you leave. I love both. Aylin's awake? Aylin? Aylin? How long? Wait, how long has Aylin been in chat for? Did I miss something?
How? Aelin? How be all? What are you doing here? What? Yes. Not long. Okay, I'm not missing it too much. Sorry, your name is the same color as Lily, so I was scrolling up to make sure there was nothing I saw Lily say. Sorry, nothing that either of you said that I didn't get misinterpreted as the other person. Do you call it Palmy or Palma? I'm leaving. I still need access to the bathroom until I leave.
Okay.
So.
Excellent. I'll sleep in again.
Yep, sleep in.
Like
is
I always
the
do.
Sorry, I had to make sure to remember that.
Oh, this is an interesting scene.
It's always an interesting scene in this game.
Mini player characters.
They're so cute. I love them.
It looks like it's like an RPG or something. Like
Yeah.
they're about to-
Where they're just like
Yeah.
Capcom
Yeah.
fighting game, but Edgeworth is in it.
Yeah.
I love you. You didn't hug me.
No, I'm trying to get my steps up.
Oh, well, I'd get a hug anyway.
Yeah.
How much further do you go?
Well, I was about to go to bed and I realized I still have 700 more steps to do. That's why I'm walking back and forth while I talk to you.
Okay, well, I need to end stream, so keep walking. I'll just be here. Go through the case, epilogue wings, then you can sleep. It's gonna take too long, right? But if following law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Simeon! Simeon, you're out! The monkey. Hey, Regina! I ship it.
Is everything alright? Did they let you out, right?
Yeah, I'm so confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank. You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is. Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no, stop staring at me like that. No, I swear, don't pull the rug out for me now.
Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks already.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth, thank you.
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me too.
She's so cute. Mr. Saint, talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose. Can I ask one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him, but now... But now? Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he would hate someone enough to want to kill them. But he kept something like that from me, and then he never really trusted me, did he? That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you. No, he didn't. If he had, he would have told me. I could have stopped him. I would have told him that hate never helps, that he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. Proof that Knight trusts him. The chessboard. The chessboard, right? Like, what else would you choose other than the chessboard? Right? Right?
Take that!
It's the chessboard I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? No. No. Don't look at it that way. No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it, and that you would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep it from you from getting caught up in this mess. Oh, Bronco, why didn't you tell me? At least you understand now, right, Simeon?
I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow.
No, I mean, right, not that much, but sure. That's not as complimentary as you think it is. I'll try. I have to, for Bronco. I'll show him I can become the best animal trainer out there. That's the spirit. I love the monkey. Oh, I almost forgot it. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love if you come around and see it, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, this idiot. Not this man. Not this man again. I'll be joining Regina's on stage for once.
That's right, the Big Berry Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go. No, I'm not going like that. Like last time. I'll think about it.
Alright, Simi, we got some training to do. I think it's... You and Region got acquainted.
Oh, Region's a tiger? No way, I can't. No.
Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty again.
I love these two. They really are, like, she's strong, independent, like, not, she's scared of nothing, and he's obviously scared of everything. I really should. I can't.
We'll chase him down.
Please, Regina, anything but that, please.
Another satisfied customer. He's fucking dead.
Have a good night, house. Sleep well. Was so nice of night. What a wonderful guy. Gone away too soon. Yeah, right. Okay, we're almost there, guys. I really need to go to bed. I wanted to finish watching the anime episode I was watching before stream.
That was really something, Smiles.
Oh,
Talk about pulling it out of the bag.
I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. The one that got away. I have you to thank you for being able to investigate the case in the first place.
Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder, and you're gonna make me blush or topple over.
I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously.
Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all.
To be an attorney.
Gotta say, I had a blast. Remind me of good old days. Like Gregory was standing there right beside me. Heh, it's been a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job.
Don't do this to me. That's going to bittersweet. I'm not sure.
Say, Miles, you ever thought about going into the defense game full time?
God, I wish. Excuse me.
You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out of there and actually help people.
Hey, pal, don't get any ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides.
Why not? Coming over the light side's all the rage. Everyone's doing it these days.
Come on, Mr. Fender. You know it's not about that.
Chill, team. Deal. Don't get it twisted. Just asking a perfectly innocent question.
And you weren't. The heck you were.
Yeah. Looks like you got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles.
Fender, I'm a prosecutor.
Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. You changed your mind. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting.
I feel like we're gonna end up helping him. I love you, Fender. Please don't commit a murder so I'm upset that I even helped you. I'm still not over Godot. Follow my father's footsteps. We'll probably have to help out again soon. Could I really do such a thing? I'm going to become a defense attorney, like my dad. An attorney, like my father. Me? I'm pretty sure he's still the prosecutor in the Apollo Justice game, so I know he doesn't do it. But he might do a temp job, you know? We did it. Oh my god. Literally a 50-50 chance. No way you roll below 11 again. You keep saying this, we'll see. I rolled a 15! We did it, guys. We did it. Okay, we did it. I got my luck back. No, don't show me the game. We'll come back. Can I just... Guys, I really need to be in bed. Like, immediately. It took so long. Finally! The end. Yes, I did it. Thank you, Lily. Thank you for finally dispelling me of my bad luck. Oh wait, this is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be in here. Okay, guys, we gotta go to bed. Alright, I need to be in bed immediately. Alright. thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have an excellent day today and tomorrow. Okay, I will see you guys. You have work in the morning? I do. For the next 3 whole days, I am working the all-day shift. Yay! I'm elated. I'm terrified. I'm elated. But I get that sweet, sweet Australia Day money. Yes, so excited. Thanks for stream. I made it to the end. Yay! Get the fuck to sleep. I know. I had an important session once where I barely rolled above like a 7 all session. Damn. It just happens, man. Happens. Can't wait for the next case. I know, right? We're only up to case 3. That's the crazy thing. Like, this case took so long, and now it's like, okay, case 3 is probably gonna be just as long. This game is taking me quite a bit longer than I thought it would take to get through. Sorry. I've been talking very fast. Slow, okay? It's been taking me... Yeah, this case definitely took me a lot longer to play through, as well as the first one. So hopefully... we'll probably still be playing this in another, like, week and a bit, probably. So, we'll see. We'll see how much we get through. Next week I'll have more time, hopefully. So, anyway. You're asleep. No talk. Literally a mime. Love your hand. Have a good sleep, and hopefully work isn't too brutal for you. Thanks, Aylin. I appreciated it. To bed with you! Get out of here! To bed with you, I say. Good night. I say a good night. I'm probably just gonna nap too. Everyone go to sleep. I will try sleep, but it's sticky hot. Dude, it's so nice down here. I hope you get some cool air, okay? It's been terrible for the last week, and now it's finally nice. Just saying. Anyway, illy tap. I just saw it. I will hydrate, don't worry. Alright, guys, have a good night's sleep. Take care, and I will see you all tomorrow for case 3. Alright? Bye-bye. In this game. Hello, darkness, my friend. I hope to see you again. Alright, what's a short song that I have? I don't have a short song. There's no short. It's just, yeah, this will work.